Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody. Good evening from Atlanta, Georgia. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's another beautiful evening here in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is another great episode of the Morale Booster podcast. Today, I have a guest who's like a neighbor. She lives here in Georgia, and she will be joining me pretty soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time joining us, I want you to please do what we always like to do: like and share it. Like and share it. If this is your first time, like and share it. We're currently streaming on multiple platforms, and I want you all to support us by sharing it. And here's the reason why: because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. People are going through so much in the world right now. People are going through challenges. The level of anxiety is at its peak. The level of depression is at its peak. The level of domestic violence and even the level of hunger is at its peak. So programs like this are brought to you to boost your morale, to help you know that you have greatness, to help you know that where you are right now is not your final destination. Please like and share it. And while we are all sharing it, I want to give you some music while I do the same thing. I want to share it to everybody on my group, all my social media groups. Enjoy the music while we do this. And while you're doing that, also remember that every day above ground is a blessed day. You are alive today because you have the gift of life. That's one of the best gifts ever. Till date, I haven't seen anyone who has argued with me that it's not a good gift to be alive. It is. And guess why? So many people went to bed last night having plans for today. But unfortunately, some people couldn't see daylight. Some died while sleeping. Some woke up and on their way to the bathroom, they died. Some got dressed, kissed their loved ones, telling them, "Hey, I'll see you later in the day." And on their way out, they died. The reason why I'm saying all this is because you can hear me right now. Those of you who are watching us via YouTube, and, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you can see me. How do you think that's possible? I want you to think about it. You can see me, you can hear me, all because you have the gift of life. So you must be grateful for it. You must be grateful for life. So today's guest is a distinguished lady who has been through so many life challenges. And she did not allow those challenges to stop her from stepping into her calling. And I know you have people like that who are stuck. You have people who are stuck. You have people who have been able to, free themselves from those shackles. But this program right now is to inspire somebody who is going through a tough time, who feels that he or she not transition from where they are to where they want to be. Before I bring our guest for today, I don't know who's listening to me right now, but I want to remind you that self-sabotage is possible. It is possible for you to sabotage yourself. It is possible for you to sabotage every good thing that God brings to you. And here's an example. I will share a brief story with you. I met someone who at some point said, "Hey, John, I noticed you are now into public speaking." I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh my boy, you used to be a very shy person. Now you are into public speaking. So you are doing it for the fame. You just need fame. You want people to know you." I was like, "I don't get it." He said, "Yes, because that's what I've noticed, that public speakers, they do it just for the fame, for people to know them." And I had to stop him to say, "Hey, please, you are saying such a thing in public because you are ignorant." And here's the reason why. When you step into your calling, when you identify your gift in life, when you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and you're ready to do the work, do you realize that you at that point will be accepting your calling? And your calling is not meant for you. Your calling is meant for people out there. Your calling is meant to bless other people out there. And the more people you bless on that journey, the more your name will be out there. Not by your making, not by your doing, not because you want to be relevant, not because you want to be known by people, but that's life. So anybody who is living a life of purpose cannot in any way stop themselves from becoming public figures, because your work is solely for the benefit, the good of other people. Even if you do not speak about yourself, those you have impacted will speak about you. So it's not an intentional act, and be mindful of what you say, because if you accept, or when you accept your calling today, young man, in the next few years, you will become a public figure, not even by your making. At that point, what would you say to the people who are listening to you right now, telling me that I just want to be known, that's why I'm a public speaker? So you must be mindful. What you don't understand, seek understanding. Seek understanding so you don't sabotage yourself. Because when you go out there accusing people who are living a life of purpose, and your time comes, because you have already accused them wrongly, or you have already given people a wrong impression about them, you might not want to step into your calling at that point because of shyness, because of shame, because of disgrace. You feel you have already sabotaged yourself in the past. So be very careful. I want to say this to everybody who's listening to me. What you do not understand, seek what? Understanding. I want you to know that you have greatness in you. And this is time for me to bring in our guest. If you have any questions, please feel free, send me a DM. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to wait, watch, sit back, relax as I bring in our guest for today. Let me bring her up. Hey, Sadie, how are you? You are on mute.
Hey.
On YouTube. Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, now Sadie is a 7-time published author. Do you believe that? She's a transformational speaker and a podcast host of Soul Food with Sadie. Sadie is a first-generation college graduate with a degree in human services. I still hear people out there saying education is a scam. It is not a scam. She is a first
Mm.
generation college graduate with a degree in human services. She took obstacles that she was born into, such as childhood trauma, rejection, and low self esteem, and utilized them to build a staircase to her success. Ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want you all to join me as I welcome to this stage no other person but Sadie Evans. Welcome to my show, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Look, when I read your story, I was so impressed about how God was able to take you from where you were to
Mm-hmm.
where you are right now. Even
Yes,
though you are still a work in progress, for
yes.
as long as you were able to overcome challenges,
Mm-hmm.
life challenges, it means that your story is needed by somebody who's still going through where you are coming from. Do you believe that?
Absolutely,
Awesome, great. I love
absolutely.
that. I love that. I love that. So welcome once again. I know it's a Friday where typically everybody wants to go out and relax and have fun. And you took time to come out here to inspire people.
Yes,
Thank you for doing that.
yes,
All
yes,
right. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you are just joining us, please like and share it because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been
yes,
waiting for a lifetime to hear this message.
yes.
So, Sadie, let me go straight into our question for today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you share some insights? I know you've gone through a lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were those key factors or strategies that helped you navigate through those challenging times? Uh, just tell us, how were you able to overcome? Just share with us those challenges and how you were able to overcome them.
Absolutely. So I'll be more than happy to share the insights that allow me to overcome. The first thing that I did was really realize that I did not need to compare myself to others. A lot of
Right.
times when we go through childhood trauma, we look at other people's life and we compare our life to theirs. Like, boy, I wish my life was like this. I
Mm,
wish my life was like that. But as I grew older, I realized that those individuals that I was wishing my life was like went through things as well. So me comparing my life to them, I might not have been able to walk in their shoes, just like they might have not been able to walk in mine. So that was
yeah.
an insight that I utilized. I also learned to truly embrace my emotions. Because
Mm,
when you go through childhood trauma, you're told, be quiet, you are to be seen and not heard. Oh, you can't be mad, you can't be sad. And a lot of times when we felt those emotions, it caused us to feel guilty. So as I grew up, and I'm like, I can feel like this without having to feel guilty. I
right.
can feel sad. I can feel angry because they're natural emotions that humans go through. So that's
Right.
another insight that I took with me. And the third insight that I took with me was really to understand that I can overcome anything because I overcame my childhood trauma. I feel like childhood trauma comes to destroy you, it comes to steal your destiny, and it comes to ultimately kill your purpose. So,
Mm.
knowing that I can overcome that because I did, God allowed me to overcome that, really helped me on this journey that I'm on right now.
Wow. Powerful. Look, you see, these three strategies, they are key,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, let's go, a little into some of those
Mm-hmm.
life challenges that you experienced. Can you
Yes.
share some with us?
Absolutely. So, first, I was born in while my mother was incarcerated in an all women's
Mm,
prison in York,
mm,
Nebraska. So, although I didn't know about that, I kind of felt a disconnect with my
right.
mother growing up, and it caused me to feel rejected. So, that's
Mm,
the first emotion I felt as a child. And rejection causes you to try to fit into different places that you don't belong. And when we
mm,
do that, we get into situations that ultimately damage us. So I went
yes.
through that. And then I went through mental abuse, like being told that I would never amount to anyone. That's why your own mother don't want you, and a host of other things. So telling a child that is like planting a seed of defeat in a child.
Yes.
Those
I
are some
agree.
things that I went through, which led me to get into relationships in my younger years with people that I thought liked me or cared about me, which
Mm,
led me to be a teen mother and a host of other things that I didn't have to go through if I did not experience that childhood trauma.
mm.
However, now I realize that I experienced that for someone else's glory one day and for the glory of God.
Exactly. I agree with you. Now, for those of you who are listening to us right now, I'm sure you were able to pick what she said she went through. First, a teen mother. Can you please share with us how old were you when you had your child?
I was 16 years old.
16 years old. Can you
Yes.
imagine? Now,
I know when I look at my son now, that's when he was 16, I literally get chills because I'm like, he's still a child
oh
mentally and
yes,
everything.
oh
I was
yes.
like, I had a baby at this age. And it like saddens me because I'm like, my whole like 16, it was stripped away because now I had to raise a child. So just that being that fragile and bringing a baby into the world and just the things that we had to go through together is a lot. But I'm just grateful that God gave me grace and strength to be able to get through it.
Wow, wow. Look. Okay, there is a first time viewer here,
Hi,
Nikki Frank.
Nikki.
Hey, Nikki, how
I
are
go to
you?
church with her.
Right. So, where are you watching us from, Nikki? Just type in the comment section, and please help us share this broadcast so that someone out there can be inspired to welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, at 16, you had a child. You
Yes.
can imagine 16, a baby, right? And
Yes.
there's so many people right now, and your mom was in prison
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, right?
Yeah, well, my mother delivered me. So I was born while my mother was still in prison.
Mm,
So you know
okay,
how a child has that time to bond with their mother and things like
right.
that for that first 2 or 3 days when they're in the hospital.
Yeah.
I didn't have that experience. And
Oh,
I know this based on what I was told, because of course I can't remember when I was born.
yes. So sorry to hear that. Now, this is a woman who has been through these challenges, and yet she did not allow all that to stop her from stepping into her calling.
Yeah.
And you and I know that there are so many people right now, right now, who are using such challenges as an excuse
Yes.
not to go to the next level.
Yes.
There are so many people who have excuses like, hey, I am not from a wealthy family, or I was born in the hood and there's no way I can become something or somebody. Now, you just shared with us that the first thing you did was to stop comparing yourself to others.
Yes.
And how effective was that?
It really freed me from so much bondage because when we compare ourselves to others, we think that sometimes we're delayed because they might be further than what we are. Or
Yes.
sometimes we think, oh, maybe they didn't have it as hard as I had it. But
Mhm.
we don't know the inside of someone's journey. That we don't
Right.
know that unless they disclose it to us. And we still don't know even if they disclose it because their perception and how they internalize it is different from the way we might perceive or internalize it. So once I did that, it freed me from needing to be like somebody or needing to feel like I'm delayed or
Mm.
feeling guilty or like I'm a failure because their life might be different from
Yes.
mine.
Exactly. And that's one of the major challenge a lot of people who are from families that are like, from families that are not too wealthy. They
Mm-hmm.
compare themselves to the other people. They say, hey, you know what? Since I'm not from a wealthy family, since I'm not from a
Yes.
family where things are happening, I just need to keep myself around the people that are
Yes.
like me,
Yes.
right? So you don't do that. What you do is always remember to embrace your emotions and always understand that you are an overcomer. You said that. You said
Yes.
you knew that you were an overcomer, right?
Absolutely.
So they always have to know that they have some form of greatness inside of them, waiting for them to explode and to bring it out. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And if you didn't, God wouldn't have allowed you to be watching this message because this is your reminder that you have greatness inside of you.
Exactly. This is a reminder. So, you who's listening to us right now, I don't know where you're listening to us from. Always remember that you can always change the situation.
Absolutely.
Where you are right now is not your final destination. And because the people around you are not living a life of purpose or are not living in a way that you would have loved to live, doesn't mean that you have to also develop that mindset, because your life is different, your timeline is different, but you only need to do something different from what others are doing. Is that correct, Sadie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Now, there's
Yeah.
somebody out there definitely who's listening to us,
Mm-hmm.
who is currently stuck, who probably has already given up in life, saying, "Oh, I have a child, I have a young child. I don't have wealthy parents. I don't have wealthy friends. No connections, no influence."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's life. I just have to give up. What's your advice for that person right now?
So I want to first start by saying that nothing in the kingdom is wasted. And when I say that, what I mean is everything that you went through is meant for you to be able to learn from it. And the moment that I shifted my mind from why is this happening to me to what can I learn from this is the moment that I began to see the gems and the beauty in those ashes.
Mhm.
Although it was painful, and a lot of times we blame ourselves for things that we went through. Maybe if I would have done this different, or maybe if I would have done this different. But I want you to know that none of it's your fault. And everything that you went through was meant to teach you a lesson. And
Right.
once you embrace that, what you went through, it happened. It happened. We can't turn the hands of time. It happened. Learn the lesson in that. Hold on to that lesson and take that lesson to teach someone else, to help someone else to overcome. And remember that nothing in the kingdom is wasted. God will use everything, ugly, pretty, indifferent, whatever you think it is to you, God will use it for his glory and to help you to get to your next level and free somebody else while you're doing it.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. You talked about learning the lesson from
Yes,
every experience, whether good, bad, whatever the experience is.
absolutely.
It's look, I always like to remind people, based on what we do, is we're not here to share with anybody anything new. I, in
Mhm.
particular, this program is not meant to share anything new with my audience. Our
Yes,
goal is to constantly remind you of the things you already know.
exactly.
That's our duty, not to tell you anything new. So if you're
Yes,
listening to us right now, don't expect anything new. You would constantly only receive reminders from us about the
mhm.
things you already know, but our reminders are to push you so that you can do that which you know but currently not doing. Is that
Yes,
correct, Sadie?
that's absolutely correct. We are here to just water the seed, and God can do the harvest.
Exactly. So learn the
Yes,
lesson. So whatever you're going through right now in your life, you who's listening to us, whatever challenges you're going through in your life, always remember that the morale booster, Dr. John Uhulu and Sadie,
yes,
have informed you that things do not happen to you, but instead things happen for you.
yes,
And why do they happen for you? They happen for you. They happen so that you can be stronger, wiser, and better. Is that correct, Sadie?
absolutely.
Yes. So you can be stronger, wiser, and better. So someone just
Absolutely.
sent a message here saying
I love
transitioning.
that.
Yeah, he said transitioning the mind from defeat to development.
I
Yes,
love that. I
yes,
love that.
yes. I love this. Thank you so much, BHU4195. Could you please
Yes,
let us know where you're watching or listening to us from? Yes, Nikki is here in Atlanta. Awesome. Thank you
yes,
so much, Nikki. Um, always remember that what you have been through, like what Sadie said, is for you to help others.
yes,
Because
yes.
when you go through a challenge, it's an experience for you.
Yep.
And when you get out of it, it means your experience can help other people get out of this. Is that correct,
Absolutely.
Sadie?
Absolutely. Change the mind from why me to what can I learn from this?
Hmm. Change your mind from why me to what can I learn from
Yes.
this. I love that. Thank you
Yes.
so much. So, how is life with you now, Sadie? How are things with you generally?
Absolutely beautiful. I sometimes I'm like, God, you did your big one in my life because everything that I went through, like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this being birthed in me. I knew I had purpose because when I was 8 years old, I used to visualize this lady and she
Hmm,
was really successful. She was really beautiful and she was a powerful praying woman, but
hmm,
I never had a standard to measure. So I didn't know who that woman was. Well, last year I was in my kitchen and I was cooking and I had the vision of that 8 year old girl, and it gave me the chills through my body. And I
hmm,
said, oh my gosh, that 8 year old girl was visualizing who I am today. So
hmm.
when God gives you a vision, it has to come to pass. God is not a liar. It has to come to pass, even when you are a fragile 8 year old child that can't fully comprehend the vision that you're having. God will make sure it comes to pass. That vision I had of that lady when I was 8 years old is the woman that I am today.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
amazing.
I love that. I love the confidence. This
Yes.
program is called the Morale Booster. Why? Because we love to give people that
Yes.
confidence. So we bring in people who have confidence such as yours to
Yes.
inspire and motivate them. And look, what you're doing is amazing. I want you to know that, just in case people are not telling you. I am telling you right now that what you're doing for the world is amazing. And I want you to keep it up because right now, like I said at the beginning, the level of depression globally is at its peak. It's so high right now. The
Mhm.
level of anxiety is also very high. The
Mhm.
level of people going through domestic violence,
Yes.
hunger, abuse, it's
Hi.
insane. So the world needs people like you right now more than ever before.
Mhm.
The world needs what you are doing. So keep it up. Please do not give up.
Yes.
I know you know where you're coming from, and I know you
Yes.
are not stopping anytime soon. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome, awesome, great. So, do you have any coaching programs?
Yes, I do. I have a coaching program. I have a webinar, and I have a pre-recorded webinar, and it's called Finding the Peace Within. And then I have
Finding
a
the
book coming out. It's called The Power That We Hold: 7 Strategies to Discover Your Authentic Self. And I'm very excited about it.
great, great, and you have authored 7 books.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is awesome. So which would you recommend for that young lady out there right now, who is at the moment a teen mom
Hmm.
and not from a wealthy home
Yes.
and currently does not have any influential people, she's not connected. Which book would you recommend for
I
that
would
person?
recommend the Learning to Love Thyself journal and devotional. When I tell you it is spiritual surgery, it is spiritual surgery. The Holy Spirit put that book in me and literally
Mm,
took me on a journey to be able to write that devotional and also
awesome.
that journal. Actually, Nikki has the journal and she gave me a review and she was like, this is like transforming my life. And I'm just
Awesome.
like, oh God.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Can you please say the name one more time so people out there can go and tell them where they can get the book from?
So you can get the book. It's called Learning to Love Thyself. It's the 30-day journal and a 30-day devotional. And you can get it at my website, sadiemayevans.com, or you can go on Amazon and get it as well.
Okay, Learning to Love Thyself by
Yes,
Sadie Evans.
yes.
All right, so if you're listening right now, we want you to go grab a copy. It's on Amazon. Um, you can buy for yourself and also buy for your loved ones.
Yes.
Yes, develop the habit of reading books because people have been through that journey that you are currently embarking on. So learn to read books. Okay. Yes, someone said very powerful journal. Yes,
Yes.
please, you all should go and get it. I encourage you to do that. So, do you have a coaching program, like a paid coaching program?
I do. Actually, it doesn't launch until March. It's an 8-week program. It's called the Empower Entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
I'm teaching kingdom fundamentals in order to build a business based on kingdom principles, so that
Awesome.
you can walk in your purpose while still making an impact and building wealth
Awesome.
for your family.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, look, Sadie is on Instagram, she is on LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank God the world is now a global village. So
Yes.
seek help now that you can. Do not say, hey, I'm not from a wealthy or a well connected background, and I don't see myself being able to transition from where I am to where I want to be. Look, this is a lady who has been through what you are going through right now. So, just with a click of a button, you can contact her. Follow her on Instagram right now. If you're listening to us right now, go to Instagram and follow Sadie, and you will find her handle right there for you. It's at Sadie Mae Evans at underscore coaching. Sadie Mae Evans underscore coaching. Those of you who are watching via YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, or LinkedIn, just look below the screen and you will find all her contact information there. For
Yes.
those of you who are listening via podcast, you can also see her information below the screen. Yeah, you can see it. Just download it and her information will be there for you. She's on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. You can
Yes.
also just type her name, Sadie Evans, Sadie Evans, Evans.
Yes.
Yes, so
I
thank you
also have
so
a
much.
YouTube channel as well.
Oh, you have a YouTube channel as well.
Hmm.
Awesome. Great. Please go subscribe to her YouTube channel. And most importantly, I want you to like and share this
Yes.
broadcast. And the reason is simple, because you might just be saving the life of that one person who
Yes.
has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message, because people are going through a lot. So, Sadie, thank you so much for joining us. And
Yes.
I hope when next I invite you, you would be willing to come and share your wisdom with my
Absolutely.
audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for what you're doing for the world as well.
Thank you so much. We have no choice. The goal is to stay inspired. And how can we stay inspired? By inspiring others.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I don't know where you're listening to us from, but I want you to always remember that today is the first day of the rest of your life. You have greatness in you, and you can change your situation from where you are to where you want to be. God
Yeah.
bless you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.